Hi, everyone. So today is a year ago that Hades, my soul kitty, left us. And time is so strange. Like it really is true when people say the older you get, the faster time goes, because I cannot believe it's been a year. Like I remember sitting in this exact spot when I recorded that sad episode about him saying that he died, and it feels like maybe a couple of months ago. So weird. So I wanted to just do an episode about my obsession with cats. I feel like I talked about Hades a lot over the course of doing this podcast, and then on that last episode um, a year ago. And but when Alicia gets home from work later today, I mean, it's like almost 2:30 in the morning right now. Like I'm so wide awake, so I figured, just do a quick episode or whatever. Um well, quick has many meanings or whatever. But anyways, so when she gets home from work, we are going to paint this ceramic thing. Like when he died, we had taken him not to our vet, but to like an animal hospital like a ways away, I think. Um because our vet was like closed or something. So we had never been to this place before, and like when they cuz it was a while away, so they mailed his ashes to us along with they took paw prints and put it in like this ceramic thing and then wrote his name and put like a heart, and it's just looked white, for the whole time we've had it. And I want to paint it orange because he was an orange baby. And so Alicia and I are going to do that later today to kind of celebrate, well, not celebrate that he died, but you know what I mean. Just that the life that he had and how great my life was with him. So anyways, um so I'm kind of doing this episode. I'm pretty sure it's not the first time I've talked about like animals. No, it's not. I always talk about them. Some of this you might have heard before, some of it maybe you haven't, because like I am totally, totally obsessed with our cats. Um, and I'm wondering if other people are like this as well. So if it doesn't have to be with like cats, maybe dogs or whatever animals you enjoy. Like I want to know if you do these things that I'm going to talk about, so I know it's not just me. I mean, even if it was just me, it's fine. Like, I'm not embarrassed to be this obsessed with my cats. If you hear any weird noises in the background, oh my God, I've got Apollo and Phil in the cat tree right next to me, and Apollo is obsessed with Phil's tail. So he keeps playing with it and biting it. So they're growling. Anyways, um, so growing up, we had dogs. Mainly bull mastiffs. We had those for several years. There was like a cat we had one time. I was like really little. I don't really remember much of the cat. I just remember that we didn't have the cat for very long because I guess my mother didn't like cats. So she had no problem with just kind of like, this isn't working out. Let's give this little guy away. And oh, that pissed me off. Even though I was so small, I remember maybe it wasn't pissed. I was just so upset. I remember crying a lot. Um, and I remember in my little child mind thinking, like, how could somebody do this? That poor animal. That was not a good time for me. So she decided she wanted dogs, which I don't fucking get, but whatever. No offense to the dog people out there. I just don't understand like what was so bad about that cat. It didn't scratch anything that I remember. It wasn't like a bad kitty or anything. Not that any cat is bad, but like behavior wise, the cat was fine. Um, so I guess my mother was just a bitch. So I didn't really care for our dogs. I was forced to pick up their fucking shit in the backyard, and that's probably the main reason why I don't have dogs to this day, because I'm not about picking up an animal's poop, like, outside. Like, I'm not gonna go walking around the yard looking for shit piles. I would just rather do it inside in a tiny little litter box where I know all the poop is, and, it doesn't smell like stinky ass dog shit. I hated scooping. I also, because I never wanted those dogs. I mean, I did love them when we got them because they're animals, but like I didn't ask for dogs. You wanted to get dogs, and I was already responsible with chores and stuff, like at a pretty young age. So, why I had to pick up dog shit? Fuck that. Fuck that. I never want to do that again. It is just gross. I can't do it. Um Not to mention, like, I dry heave too, like, that I can't. Now anyways, you get it. So, when I grew up and moved out and went into the military, I had some cats, but, like, I was working a lot, so I didn't get to spend as much time with them as I wanted to. And then after I got out of the military, there was, like, a couple years, 2, 3 years, I think, that I didn't have any animals because I lived in apartments that, like, I lived in this one apartment complex near the college I was going to, and the owner didn't want anybody to have pets in the building. And then I had like some apartments afterward, and like no pets were allowed there. Um, but then I moved into one that allowed animals. So that's when I got Hades and Athena. They were brother and sister. And those were, I don't know, that seems like so long ago, but also not. It's very strange. But I know I talked about that, like going to the animal shelter and blah, blah, blah. So, like, that's somewhere in a past episode. If, like, you haven't listened to that, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't have to listen to the past episodes. There's so many of them at this point. Um, but anyways, so I like really enjoy teaching the cats to do things. I try not to say training them, even though I know it's kind of the same thing. Um, but like I remember, I think I did it just to spite my mother because she was such a bitch sometimes, and like she was not she didn't really like seem to like that I had cats or something. I don't know. It was very strange. Like, she pretended to like them, but also the way that she talked about cats, it didn't sound like she liked them very much. Um, which, I guess is why she got rid of that one that I had when I was a kid, or that she had when I was small. But, she would say things like, cats are stupid, they can't learn the things that dogs can, and I was like, as if it was as if she was insulting me. Like, how dare you insult my cats? So to spite her, I started teaching them like how to sit on command, lay down on command, and with hand signals, and to speak. There's not a whole lot I can think else to train them on, but I can get cats to do that. I think the newest one, Apollo, is going to be a bit of a hard one. I was going to say an asshole, but he's not an asshole. I think he's going to be a hard one to train because he loves to jump up on counters, but I'll get to that later. But yeah, so I can probably say that like cats are smart. Like cats can do the things that dogs can do to an extent, and they understand stuff. And I think it's pretty fucking cool that a cat who is so independent, um, and doesn't really like to listen. Cats like to just do what they want to do. So if I can get one to sit and lay down and speak, like, I feel so good about myself. Um, so anyways, with new cats, now like with new cats now, like I do whatever I can to get them quote on my side, which means like they love me more and like they love Alicia, but like they love me more. And I don't care how that sounds. Like I'm obsessed with animals. Um, what was I saying? Oh, so like with Hades and Athena, I didn't really have to worry about that for a while because I lived by myself until I met Alicia. Um, I could like go into a whole thing about like Athena. She was so like anxious. I think she was abused prior to me getting her from the shelter. Because she was just a very, very flinchy, anxious cat. And like she just didn't like people. If anybody came over, she would hide. And I know that's normal cat behavior, but like she was like times 10. Like she was a very scared cat. Not like all the time, but like initially. And then when like Alicia came into the picture, Athena had started coming out and like sitting with her, letting Alicia pet her. I was shocked. I was like, "Do you know how anxious this cat is? Like, this cat has never come out for anybody." And on one hand, I was like, this is great. Like, good work, Athena. Like, you've come such a long way. On the other hand, I was like, you better not get it too attached to Alicia because, you and me belong together. Um, just this is like the kind of thinking that I've had for years when it comes to cats. Um, but anyways, so like with the newer ones we get, I do whatever I can to get them to love me just a little bit more because it's nice. Like, I am not below some cultish behavior. Um, like Alicia doesn't really do much with them. She's even admitted to me before that if it was just her and she had any kind of animal, like the animals would probably die because she would forget to feed them and I I I kind of believe it. Um, so I'm the main caretaker of the cats. Um, like I feed them all the time. I give them snacks all the time. I play with them regularly. Um, I snuggle with them. Like they know who feeds them. They know where to get treats from. They know who likes to play with them. They know who gives the best snuggles. It's all me. Me, 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 me. It's me. Like, sure, Alicia can do some of these things too, but does she do it consistently? No. That's okay though. Here's just something kind of funny. Um, so like one of our geriatric cats is a bit on the skinny side. Um, so we added like some protein into his diet, like more of it because I guess he's not getting enough. So he's putting on a little bit of weight. Um, I'm just cooking up like ground beef or ground turkey and he seems to like it, but I hate cooking. Turns out I hate cooking for people and myself because I'm a person. But like if I'm cooking for cats, even if it's just cooking ground beef or ground turkey or whatever, no seasoning, no nothing, just cooking it through. I enjoy that because in my mind, I'm like, they're gonna fucking love me. They see me out here at the stove. They're all in the kitchen watching me, smelling what I'm making, and they know like they're gonna get it and it's gonna come from me. Maybe they'll love me just a little bit more because I can give them some good stuff too. Because I was sharing it with like the other three, not just for Caesar, one of the geriatric I was talking about. But and I had made the mistake of saying out loud that I don't know why I said this, but I was like, wow, I really enjoy cooking for animals, just not for people. And she's like, geez, thanks. And it's true though. Like things that I don't really like in humans, I love in animals. So I don't think that's going to be changing anytime soon. But yeah, like I didn't view it as a chore. I was just like, look, guys, do you smell this? Like I'm cooking this for you. Like I'm 5. Um, but anyways, it all works because when they need something like food, who do they come to? They come to me. If they want some treats, they come to me and they ask for them. Not with like human language, but cat meows. When they want to play, they start playing like with my hand, and that indicates let's get the toy out with the string and the stick and blah blah blah. And then, just they know to come to me for almost everything. I feel great about that. Um, I feel like I can read cats like people. Like, I can read them so well. And I'm not talking about obvious shit like, when their ears go back, that means that they're not quite happy. Like, that's obvious stuff. I'm talking about like just these little nuanced things. Like, cats have different facial expressions. Like they have, I don't know how to describe it, but like their face does move in different ways. Their eyes do look. I had somebody tell me one time that like animals look the same all the time except when they're pissed. Do you know how like wrong that is? That's not correct at all. No, animals they're multifaceted. They have different like body language and like facial expressions too. And like if you know them well enough, you can pick up on that shit. Like I can anticipate stuff with them like I can with people. So like is this normal to know like stuff like this about a cat? Like I know like when they're about to take a shit. I'm usually within like a 5-minute range, and it might be like the way one of them walks or something. Um like for example, I probably shouldn't say this, but like when Alicia gets up from sitting, I can tell by the way she gets up and how she starts walking if she's got to pee or something. So, like, I know her bathroom walk. And now that I am saying that out loud, I think it might be tied to like my fucking bathroom trauma. That if you haven't listened to the other episodes, maybe, I don't know, I have some bathroom trauma. And so I already did an episode on that. I don't want to go into that because I will talk for like ever. But so like I can do the same thing with the cats. Like I know when they're about to go take a dump. Um, I pick up on their patterns. I talk to them all the time. I talk to them in baby voice and regular voice. And they don't seem to mind very much. They respond to it. Um, I talk to them more than I talk to my wife. I talk to them more than I talk to anybody. And I feel like on some level they know what I'm saying to them. I don't know. I think there's just a whole lot about animals that like we don't know. Like who knows? Maybe they do understand what we're saying. That I mean, anything's possible. Um, right? I like to stare at them a lot. That brings me joy and comfort. Like with Phil and Apollo, our two new ones. Um, they love each other so much. I have never had cats that were bonded like this ever. Like, even when Hades and Athena came together, brother and sister, like, yes, they loved each other. Um, they did things together, but like, there was not this kind of bonding. Like, these two boys can't get enough of each other. And by the way, Apollo keeps popping bees. Alicia keeps reminding me, well, he's a cat. Popping boners, that's what I'm saying, in case anybody doesn't know. Cat still, he got fixed and everything, and he's still popping them, but there's less of them now. Um, maybe like him and Apollo, I think, are just boyfriends. Who knows? Um, but I will, like last night, at least a good 20 minutes, I just watched them like loving each other, like in the cat tree. They both like it's not a big cat tree, but like they both still fit there in this one little spot. And they were sleeping together, like their legs were locked and they were passed out. It was so cute. And then like at some point like they would be play fighting and then they were giving each other baths. It was just so wonderful. It just brings me so much joy to see like cats like that. I've never gotten to see that before. So I stare at them a lot too. Not in a creepy way, but I don't know. I don't think it's creepy. Um, and like lots of autistic people, I prefer animals to people. Just, I mean, if anybody listened to like some of the prior things, the prior episodes, I think I remember saying that like if Hades, like right before, like yeah, this was like when I suspected he was on his way out of this life. I remember saying something like if I could have like 20 more years with him, but I couldn't have my wife, would I do these hypotheticals to myself. I don't know why, but I just do. And I had thought to myself, yeah, if like there was ever such a thing as like, like you can have your cat for 20 more years, but you can't see your wife during that time and she might move on without you. I would pick Hades. And Alicia already knows this. Pretty sad, huh? But I was telling her, I was like, you think I'm joking, but I'm serious. And she's like, I know you're serious. And then I was like, thanks for loving me. Because if that was a possibility back when Hades was alive, I would have jumped on it. Um, Magic can happen, who knows? But like now I wouldn't because I don't want to resurrect him. I'm talking as if I can actually do that, and I can't. So, but anyways, that's how much I love animals. Like I'm willing to just chuck my wife out the fucking window for 20 years to just spend more time with the soul kitty. And if she waits around, great. If she doesn't, I understand. I'm not on anything, by the way. All natural. Where am I? What was I just saying? Oh, so animals. So I pretty much go nowhere. Um, Couple times a week I leave the house, maybe 3 times. And it's just to go run an errand or so. Like, I don't hang out with people because I don't like doing that. Um, since leaving traditional employment several years ago, like I have spent so much time with like our pets. It's like living my best life. Spending all this time with the cats and they love me so much. They follow me around. Like Apollo. Sorry if you heard that ding on my phone. Sorry about that. Um, Maybe I shouldn't have recorded like 2:30 in the morning because I'm having some brain fog. Um, oh yes. So I feel very honored that they seem to like my company. Um, because just because you bring a pet home doesn't mean that it's going to be like, it's just you and me, baby, until you die. Like it's not going to be like that all the time. So like whenever cats seem to take to me, I feel really grateful and I'm constantly like thinking about how can I make their life better for them? Like I check up on their moods, like are you guys okay? Like I am so obsessed. Like I think about cats all the time. Um and so like Apollo, he's my soul kitty number 2. Like this cat has really just started following me around everywhere. Like I feel so loved by him. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but like I'll leave my room to go get drinks or snacks or whatever, or, to go see my wife because I do have one. And he could be passed out in here. Well, I don't think a cat's ever truly passed out. I mean, sometimes, but I think he's kind of like a light sleeper. I don't know. But like every time I leave my room, he follows me. And whenever I go to the bathroom, and I open the door afterward, he's laying right outside the door waiting. Like it is just, oh my God, I'm so glad I have another soul kitty. I didn't even think that was possible. But this cat loves me so much and I think he loves me more than Alicia. And you know what? I am down with that. That means a lot. I wish I didn't say that. Um, what else is there? Is there anything else? Maybe I've said all of this before. No, I don't know. I'm kind of regretting publishing this now because, like, is it normal to be this obsessed with animals? But even if it's not, it's too late. And I think if anybody were obsessed with their pets, it would be like autistic people, wouldn't it? Um, like we just have the best connections with animals. We just do. Which is why whenever we go somewhere, like to somebody else's house or to some fucking party or get together or whatever, a bunch of us just like our go-to is is there a pet here? Do you have a pet? That's the first thing like I look for. Not that I've gone over to anybody's house in like a while, but when I used to, like when I was younger and like I would go out and do things when I had the energy to. Like, if I was going over to somebody's house, I just wanted to know where the pet was, especially if it was like a party of some sort. I mean, like back then, I didn't know about my autism, so I just felt like I had to go to these things and I dreaded it every single time. But the only reason, like, I kept doing it, like, that because, like, there was the potential of, like, getting to hang out with, like, a cat or a dog. One time it was a fish. I was okay with that because I like watching fish live their lives. Something that isn't human, you know? Just I really need to go check out this cat cafe that I have yet to go to near us. I don't know where that thought came from. But anyways, um, I think that's all I have to say. Is anybody out there like do these kinds of things like with your pets? Like, do you constantly think about them? Are you married or like do you live with somebody and like you prefer the pets like kind of gravitating toward you more? And like, I don't know, this can't just be me. Um, and like, I get it. Like, at my age, I don't need to be doing this shit. I don't need to be trying to like woo a cat or something like over to my side, but I kind of feel like I have to. What time am I at? Oh no. This is not a short episode like I thought it would be. Um, I have no idea how this episode sounded. Maybe I didn't see anything new, but like if anybody's listening, please, if there's anybody obsessed, I don't care if it's a fucking ferret that you're obsessed with. Like if you have obsession with like your animals, and you think about them a lot and like they're more important to you than people are, like I would really like to know this. um I it would just be very helpful to know that there are like-minded people out there who pretty much worship animals. I wish I could just be a cat for like a day or two, not any longer than that, because like I like to eat different things. Like cats just eat the same shit all the time and some snacks. So, and there's not a whole lot to do when you're a cat except sleep and poo and play and eat. So, and play with toys or whatever. But I feel like that would get pretty boring pretty quickly. But I would like to see what it's like to be like a cat for a couple days. Anybody else? Oh man, I'm just gonna go now. Um, thanks for listening. I think. And I better hear from some people. Please, you don't even have to send me emails anymore. I just found out that like not that long ago that you can leave comments, like I think on Spotify, maybe some other platforms that this podcast is on. You can leave comments. Um, so could you please, even if it's just something that says I do the same thing or like I'm similar, somebody, please. Um, okay, gotta go. Bye.